here on Dave's right.
Hi, Stephen Wade with Associated Press. I ask the same question to the Cubs manager. There was a time when the Cubs and the Dodgers were one of those 6 or 7 big historic clubs, Cardinals, Red Sox, Giants, whatever. Suddenly now the Dodgers are so much above everybody else. What's that feel like? You know, there's like the Cubs are like the second-run team here, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, but you guys are now so far above, seem to be so far above everybody else. How do you take that in, or how do you manage that?
カブスの監督にも同じ質問をしましたが、かつてはドジャースもカブスも両球団ともメジャーの中でも優れた名門球団という立場にいましたけど、今ではやっぱりドジャースが自分の家で名門の球団になっているということについての感想を教えてください。
I think in totality, there's still a few ball clubs that share that same lore of history, but baseball, a lot of it is cyclical, and so our hope is we can continue to ride this high tide as the Dodgers. But in Japan, I just think it's just more skewed because of Shohei, and nothing against the other 3 Japanese players, but Shohei is just such a beast in this whole equation that there's a lot of 17 jerseys, Dodger jerseys here.
歴史的なあるの、すごい歴史の、ある球団は他にも何球団たくさんありますけど、やっぱり、波の、どの球団が強いかというのは波のあるものなので、これからも引き継ぎで、強い球団であることを目的にしています。特に他の選手に、失礼なことを言うつもりはないんですけど、やっぱり大谷選手の、存在がすごいやっぱり大きくて、特にスタンドの背番号17の、ユニフォームがすごい、見えていることで、が分かっています。
Go to David standing in the doorway.
Dave, going back to Freddie, how much did he lobby you to try to play tonight? And will you not really know the extent of the injury until you get back to LA?
フリーマン選手の話に戻りますが、どれぐらい今日出場したいというふうに本人から聞きましたが、どれぐらい怪我が深刻なのかはいつになって分かると思います。
He lobbied hard, like he always does. He wants to play every day, kind of prepared to play, but ultimately conceded to myself and the training staff. It's just too early in the season to potentially put him in harm's way. Feels much better than he did yesterday. My expectation is that he'll be good to go for the Freeway Series.
本人からはやっぱり強い、出たいという強い希望はありましたが、私と、トレーニングスタッフの、皆さんが、今日は出ない方がいいということで、本人は納得してくれました。アメリカに戻ってからのフリーウェイシリーズには、出場できます。
Go to Bill in the second row on your left, then we'll go to Kirsten after that.
Yeah, as exciting as these games have been, this whole trip, the travel, is part of you or part of the players feeling like it'd be nice to get it over with tonight, get home, take a breath, and get back into more of a routine?
これほど、大きな舞台での試合ですが、中には選手にとっては、いつものルーティンに戻りたいという気持ちも、ありますか。
I think you said it perfectly. This has been a great trip, but I do think I speak for the players. We're ready to win a ball game tonight and get back home and get back to our regular lives and routine, but it's been a tremendous experience.
これは本当に素晴らしい機会でしたけど、やっぱり選手のは、いつものルーティン、いつもの生活に戻りたいという気持ちは、あると思います。
Go to Kirsten, first row on your left.
Just
Dave.
going back to Roki, with that splitter of his, and talking to some of the guys, it's hard for them to compare it to anything that they've seen before. Even Connor McGinnis said it's kind of like a fork ball. How would you just describe that pitch and what allows it to be so effective for him?
佐々木選手のことについて、他の選手だったりコーチだったりから他の、見てきた中では、球種に比べにくいっていう本当にユニークな、球種だっていうふうに話がありますが、それについて少し話してください。
Well, the unique thing about his split finger, it's very unpredictable. It can go to the left, it can go straight down, and it can go to the right. And I don't think, and Roki doesn't even know what it's going to do when he throws a baseball. So if the pitcher doesn't know, it's certainly hard for the hitter to hit the split. And the main thing is the split has got to be presented as a strike. If it looks like a strike out of the hand, it's going to be a very effective pitch.
佐々木選手のフォークの、やっぱり独特なところは、予測しづらい、軌道だということで、左に落ちること、まっすぐ落ちるものと、右に落ちるものとたくさんあって、やっぱり、本人自体も、どっち方向に落ちるかというのはなかなか、予測しづらい、みたいなので、やっぱりピッチャー本人が、どっちに落ちるか分からない中では、やっぱり、すごい打ちづらいんじゃないかなというふうに思います。でまず、一番大事なのは、ストライクに見える、バッターに見せることが、やっぱり大事だと。
Do one or two last ones. Go to Jack, first row on your right, Dave.
When you have someone like Roki, who we've talked about, like is still relatively raw, but has kind of like the premium stuff that he does, like, do you almost kind of have like a wider range of expectations for how he might look, not just like tonight, but like over the course of the year? Like, do you have kind of a sense of how it might look, you know, the highs and the lows, or are you kind of like waiting to see yourself, you know, how this is going to play out at a regular season environment?
Well,ごめんなさい。
佐々木選手のように、発展途上のピッチャーで、球威にすごいあるピッチャーだと、やっぱり波が、激しいように思いますが、1試合でも1年を通して、どういうふうな成績を残してくれると思います。
I think when you get youth and talent, which is Roki, what that introduces is variance. And so there's going to be some really high highs and then some things that you just don't know what are going to happen because of his inexperience. And so for me, I'm just going to wait and see because I'm still trying to learn Roki as a professional pitcher.
佐々木選手の特徴であるその若さと才能の高さを、やっぱり、一緒にすると、すごい、波が大きいっていうのは、予測できます。本当に素晴らしい投球をする日もあれば、それを予測しづらい日も、あると思います。私としてはまだ、佐々木選手のピッチャーとしての特徴を、理解している段階なので、これから見ていきたいと思います。
We'll take a last question from Fabian to your right here.
Yeah, Dave. Obviously, it's not the same situation as Yamamoto last year, but it was, in terms of like this kind of a start, we put obviously so much into a big league debut, doing it in his own home country. Like, how do you sort of gauge, obviously, like learning as much as you can from how he handles this moment versus not trying to read too much into maybe what the results kind of look like in his first start?
山本選手と全く同じ状況ではないですけど、やっぱり海外でも、開幕戦で、すごい大きな舞台になって、どれぐらい、今日の結果と、今日から、その大きな舞台であるっていうことで、それほど注目したいものを、どういうふうにバランスを取るか。
I personally didn't read much into Yoshinobu's first start in Seoul last year. I don't plan on reading much into this start for Roki. There's a ton of emotions that I can't even appreciate. I don't think any one of us can. And so he's going to go out there and do the best he can. He's going to compete. And the key is he just continues to get better. And so that's kind of the hope. And that's what Yoshinobu did last year. And that's the expectation for Roki.
山本選手の去年のデビュー戦も、それほど重視、しなかったですし、今年の、佐々木選手のデビュー戦も、それほど、重視していません。私にも、他の人にもすごい分からない複雑な気持ちがあると思うので、まず一番はやっぱりその佐々木選手が中央に、成長していくっていうのが一番大事だと思います。
All right, Dave, Yuji, thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Enjoy tonight.